Hello and welcome to this video, which is part of Student Mind's Library of Learning. This research short will take you through a few studies relevant to the University Mental Health Charter. My name is Dr. Rebecca Upsher and I'm a lecturer at King's College London. I'm also a University Mental Health Charter Award panel member, help ratifying decisions made by the assessor team. I teach mainly undergraduate psychology students, and my main area of research interest is improving student well-being and learning through the curriculum, pedagogy and assessment. The Education for Mental Health Toolkit is one of the suggested resources outlined in the University Mental Health Charter under the Learn Domain. Full disclosure, I am one of the co-authors for this toolkit, hence why I'm excited to tell you a bit more about this particular resource, but please do check out the other suggested resources within the University Mental Health Charter for this domain too. The Education for Mental Health Toolkit is a resource designed for academic staff and curriculum development staff to outline approaches that can support student well-being and learning within the curriculum. The suggestions in the toolkit are universal and preventative. This includes inclusive practices, but also how to support students with existing mental health conditions. As you can see by the screenshot, this is available up on the Advanced HE website, and it's a free resource. This project was funded by the Office for Students and is a collaboration between the University of Derby, King's College London, Aston University, Student Minds and Advanced HE. The project was an accumulation of synthesising existing literature, conducting new primary research and having conversations with key stakeholders such as staff and students across higher education institutions. In introducing the Learn Domain, I've given a lot of context for this toolkit already, but to add, the toolkit also combats a key myth in terms of the curriculum and student mental health. People think that in order to improve student well-being, this means making the curriculum easier, reducing challenge in order to reduce stress and anxiety. This isn't true. The evidence does not support that this is necessary. Challenge and stretch is good for well-being. Having that personal development and learning is good for us. If we look at certain models of well-being, such as the 5 ways to well-being, learn is one of the key elements in the model. And it's one of those ways that we can improve well-being overall. And it's not just learning that needs to be easier or the academic challenge that needs to be reduced. It's actually the way that we think about teaching and the way students engage with their learning that's key. So this toolkit runs through multiple ways to support student well-being within the curriculum, pedagogy and assessment, often without having explicit conversations about mental health. So please do have a look through. My top tips for engaging with this resource. So if you look at the left-hand panel, you see that the chapter, the resource is broken down into chapters and also has smaller subsections. My personal recommendation is to download the PDF version titled Education for Mental Health, and this makes things a little bit more searchable. I usually recommend that people look at the key lessons and top tips at the end of each subsection, and do this first so you can get a flavour of what the section is about. Then, if you're interested, read the chapter more in detail. This helps you identify key areas of interest quickly without feeling like you have to read the whole resource word for word. It's also great inspiration for linking up your practice with the Learn Domain if you're putting together evidence for the University Mental Health Charter Award. The last thing I would like to mention are 2 checklists that were published in February 2025. I think these will help those of you who are reporting or describing interventions for the University Mental Health Charter Award and for related research projects. This work originated from the Education for Mental Health project, where myself and other researchers were keen to improve reporting in education intervention research, so we can work towards better understanding interventions delivered in a variety of education contexts, which has implications for replications in different contexts and also evaluation of these interventions. We found that there were such guidelines for health interventions, but these didn't translate well to education contexts. So we created our own checklists in consultation with many education experts. If you're writing a research manuscript for a quantitative research design, please take a look at the closer checklist. What might be more relevant in this context, i.e. if you're looking to carefully describe an intervention you run at your higher education institution, it's worth having a look at the cider checklists, which provide you with a great structure for reporting details of an education intervention. To note, this isn't specific to the Learn domain. If you're reporting an intervention across any of the domains within the Charter, these checklists might be helpful. My recommendation for accessing this resource is to look at the tables first. These outline the checklist items concisely, then you can look at the manuscript in more detail if you would like an explanation or example of the checklist item. Thank you for listening.